Welcome in, builders. We have an interesting little demo here to check out. This was suggested over on the Discord by one of my amazing builders. Thank you very much for the suggestion. This is I'm gonna call it a story game, I think, from my very little introduction. In a vague way, it kind of reminds me about how King of Dragon Pass and its ilk play. So it's going to be very text heavy, choose your own adventure type thing, but it seems interesting enough that I wanted to check it out. I'm not exactly sure how long this demo is, but we'll play it for a little bit here, see if we get through it, or yeah, it was interesting enough. I think I did want to record this. So right away, the game is intended to be played as a roguelike, but you can save at your convenience. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. This is a story about choices and consequences. Progress comes from surviving decisions, not perfect outcomes. This demo is a work in progress. Some artwork in the demo is a placeholder and will be replaced in the full version. Gotcha. This demo presents the prologue of Under the Heavens. Many systems unlock through rank progression, doctrine, reputation, weapons, and more. The demo shows you the foundation. The full game will expand on your command. So this is the Warring States Saga. This is not Three Kingdoms era. This is, I think, what is it, Nine Princes era? I may have that name slightly wrong, but that's what it is. Settings-wise, not too much in here, although I see it may not have actually saved my settings because I did turn that down. And I think the music might be a little... Whoa, no, definitely not. It is a poppin'. We'll do that. Apply. We'll see if that saves in there. Not a big deal, but I just recorded at 60 FPS, so. Okay, Under the Heavens, Warring States Saga, begin. The 7 states at war. Borders don't exist anymore, not really. Just blood-soaked ground that changes hands every season. Few people know the name of the court they now belong to, fewer care. River valleys, mountain passes, land men die for without ever knowing why. Armies cross the plains and plains stop yielding grain. Rivers run slow with what washes down from the streams' upkept screams. Every year, some new general's name spreads like wildfire. He'll end the war, they say. He'll unify the realm. Every year, the earth swallows him whole. The scribes keep writing. They're paid to. The histories they produce will be read by men who were not there, and those men will argue about which king was the first to cross which line. Every triumph here only opens the ground for the next one. The strong feed, and the weak are fed on. And now, the Chronicle finds a new name, yours. At dawn, the first oath awaits. 7 banners, 7 kingdoms locked in each other's throats. No one knows which will stand when the dust settles. Choose a kingdom to learn more before you swear. Okay, I did poke around here a little bit. We are going to just pick Han. Han, the old heart of the realm, surrounded on every side, squeezed by stronger neighbors, yet still refusing to disappear. Tendencies, +1 compassion, +1 formation. Han favors endurance, restraint, and survival under pressure. We will swear to the Han. Press the map to open the map scroll and view the current borders of the warring states at any time. Okay, we do that. Here's the current borders of the warring states. The old heart bleeding from every border, surrounded, crumbling, but still breathing. The oath is sealed to Han. There is no ceremony beyond this, no witness but the war itself. From this moment on, victories and your failures will carry its name. Your father defined your life. What trade forged your hands that now reach for a weapon? Choose a path to understand it before you decide. We were a war orphan. You had no inheritance, no name to carry, only what you learned to survive. Tendency, defensive +1, compassion +1. You survive by noticing what others miss. Accept path. You are a war orphan, taken in by a minor house. You entered service at a young age. You learned to watch, to listen, to survive. When the house fell, no one protected you. You lived because you saw it coming. You understand now. By the time a house falls, the ones who live through it have been watching the cracks for weeks. Your story begins in the traces left by an orphan. shaped by quiet resilience and the ability to read the moods of others. There is no changing where you came from, only what you make of it now. Steel defines fate. Most soldiers are handed a spear and told to hold the line. That is how armies survive. Before this, you held something else. Not long enough to master it, just enough to know how it felt in your hand. Choose a weapon to understand it. We had a sword. A sword costs more than most soldiers will ever see. When you get one in your hand, you feel that. It's shorter than you expect and lighter, and the edge needs maintenance you cannot afford to skip. Tendency, cutting +1, flanking +1. It rewards the man who sees the opening first. Choose the weapon. You claim the sword, its weight rests in your hands, carrying the mark of a balanced reach and an instinct to meet danger eye to eye. From this moment forward, your hands will learn its language, and you will learn, it will learn yours. The phrase, language of the sword, I always love that phrase. Enter your name. I am Babel Builder, first of his name. Your oath is sealed. The chronicles await, Babel Builder. Military High Command of Han. 7 banners, each one carries the weight of command. The first banner belongs to the Supreme Commander, Lian Xing, the Shadow Chancellor. A force carved from the spine of Han, tempered in wars that broke entire kingdoms. When Lian Xing speaks, courts fall silent. When Lian Xing moves, borders shift. Veterans who survived 30 battles will tell you the same thing. The Supreme Commander doesn't fight wars, the Supreme Commander ends them. Beside this colossus stand the great generals, figures whose shadows have broken sieges and emptied walls. Yi Jiang, the Fire Ox strategist, a commander whose presence on the field tilts battles before the first blade is drawn. Enemy generals see Yi Jiang's banner and consider their strategies. Allied soldiers see it and fight like they're immortal. Xin Yang, the young tiger, where Yi Jiang is the hammer, Xin Jiang is the blade in the dark. Precise, devastating, impossible to predict. Entire campaigns have turned on a single order spoken once, then never repeated. Press the Jade Dragon to open the High Command scroll and learn about the military leadership you serve under. Okay, so National High Command. These are the commanders of the Han. We can see here. Here is Lian Xing, the Shadow Counselor. Gives you a little bit of info about him. I'm not going to read that here. And you can see their traits. He's an intelligence master, an espionage specialist, and a web of eyes. Yeah, that's a good little set of traits there. Just out of curiosity, let's just pick somebody else. We have Zhao Shi, mountain warfare, terrain specialist, and an ambush expert. Again, you got to be good at what you do, I suppose. Okay, I'm sure we'll learn more about them when it's relevant. Beneath them, the generals hold the realm together, guardians of passes, rivers, borders, where common soldiers die by the thousands. Tai Fing, a stoic engineer. Zhao Shi, the mountain ghost. Jiang Hong, the Iron Widow. Qin Rong, the Hammer of the North. These are the other officers who hold formations when everything screams to break and run. Their names appear on battlefield reports stained by blood and mud. Soldiers pray to reach their standards. Enemies pray to avoid them. Their names are like legend. Yours is still unwritten. The morning drums reach you before anything else. After 3 days on a dusty wagon rattling over fields and empty way stations, you see it as the mist lifts. The Han recruitment grounds. You step down from the carriage. The air tastes of dust and sweat. Your training begins at first light. The camp takes you in. Training yards stretch across the flat ground, crowded by recruits staggering beneath weighted poles while instructors shout for tighter ranks. Spears crash into wooden frames, bodies hitting the ground again and again until the lessons is learned. Nearby, a pair of veterans drag a collapsed recruit to the side without a word, leaving him in the shade to recover or to reconsider his future. You walk past kitchen fires, burning from dawn to dusk. Smoke clings to everything. Beyond them lie the lodgings, cramped spaces filled with restless breathing of men who fear tomorrow more than yesterday. This place is not built to welcome you. It's built to find out what you're made of. For the first time since leaving home, a thought surfaces. Have you stepped onto the right path? Day 1, Arrival. The muster horns sound before the sun has risen, a low, violent note that moves through the dormitory and drags every man to his feet. Recruits stumble into hallways, grabbing gear, colliding in tight spaces. One nearly gets trampled. He finds his footing. The others don't look back. You don't know the protocol. You follow the only rule that's clear. Move when everyone else moves. Cold air outside. The yard is already filling with bodies trying to arrange themselves into something resembling order. You take a place in a loose line beside 4 strangers. No one looks certain. Hands adjust grips. Feet shift in the dirt. A few older soldiers move through the rank, correcting posture without a word. Then the murmurs die. Choices shape who you become, your future and your units. Responds not to single decisions, but to patterns. 100-man Captain Liang stands at the edge of the yard. His face gives nothing away. He offers no greeting, no explanation. He simply calls out, "Lines of 5, march forward." Everyone moves. You step forward with the others, but your line begins to drift immediately. The man to your left walks too wide. The one ahead shortens his stride. Someone in the rear nearly collides into you. Across the yard, the veterans move like clean precision, their spacing exact, their rhythm unbroken. Your section lags behind. How do you move? Okay, so we have some choices. We could hold steady and let them match our pace. We could correct them, force a straight line, or study the veterans and adapt. All right, well, it said as an orphan, we survived by being observant. So let's study the veterans and adapt. Cunning +1, unity +1, and I missed one. Outcomes are resolved by a roll influenced by your traits, officers, preparation, and more. Your odds improve as you rise from a nobody to a somebody. Instead of forcing your section, you watch the veterans across the yard. You mirror their stride, their posture, their pacing, and allow your line to recalibrate around you. The yard fills with the sounds of marching feet as Instructor Liang steps into the formation, his silence weighing heavier than any shouted command. Roll. Come on, come on. 6? Is 6 good? Failure. 6 is not good. You keep your footing. It'd be nice if that showed me what was applying to the roll. Like +1 from this, -2 from that, etc., etc. You keep your footing, but the line never settles into a clean rhythm. Spacing wavers, adjustments come too late. The man to your left drifts, and you correct only after damage is visible. Captain Lang slows as he pauses your section. "This is your first day," he says without raising his voice. "Otherwise, you'd be scrubbing the latrines." He moves on. The march continues. Day 2, the grind. You spent the evening watching recruits who got it right. The others slept. You didn't. Before the sun clears the horizon, the yard is already alive. Training posts ring as recruits strike scarred wood with blunted weapons. The sound worn into the grain from countless blows before them. Rows of weighted dummies stand rigid in the dirt. Instructors move through the lines, wooden rods ready. Each strike must be clean. One mistake, and you'll feel it. Press the red seal to open the Chronicle scroll and review how your actions are being recorded. This page records your conduct and tendencies. Your choices accumulate across categories. Over time, dominant patterns shape your traits, reputation, and opportunities. These values do not directly affect your role outcomes. They determine which traits you develop, earning traits. At key moments, your dominant tendencies form into permanent traits, such as Iron Command, Shield of Many. Traits are what influence your role outcomes. This is not about balance, it's about who you are becoming. Yeah, this is what really reminded me of King of Dragon Pass and its sequels. It's not about making the right choice, it's about the story that you're telling. I really like that. Soldier, Babel Builder. Background, we were a war orphan. House fell. Accrued conduct and tendencies. So we have defensive and cunning, cunning being a 2, unity and compassion, and then we have formation, scouting, and flanking. We've lost no men, and we have no notable soldiers. The air shakes with impact. Spears thud, swords slam. The ground vibrates beneath bodies, still learning how to move as extensions of steel. Sweat drips into the dust, arms flail, grips slip. No one's allowed to stop. Your turn comes. The blunted weapon feels heavier than it should. How do you face the drill? So we could match his rhythm, perfect control, drive every strike, maximum force, watch the best and learn. I think we're kind of all in on this, like, clever orphan. Watch the best. Learn. Cunning compassion scouting. You study the strongest recruits, their stance, their timing, where their weight is positioned when shifting. You improve your technique by watching others quietly, making adjustments quicker than the instructors will ever realize. The instructor passes your position as you hold your stance. The shadows of his body crosses yours as he watches to see if your stance will continue in spite of fatigue. This is no longer about the first strike, it's about the 15th. Come on, come on, no! Critical failure. Your sword hits the post at an awkward angle. The sound is wrong. The shock jumps through your wrist and stays there. Before you can rebalance, the instructor's rod comes down across your back. You go to the ground and taste dirt. His voice cuts like a blade, again, and this time don't embarrass yourself. It's alright, I'm used to it. You don't wake to the horn. You wake to the doors. The barrack slams open. Lanterns' lights cut through the dark. Up! Inspection, 2 minutes. Everyone moves. No one knows why yet. Hands fumble, blankets twist, sleep is still in your body. Across from you, a recruit is failing. His blanket won't fold right. He keeps restarting, each time making it worse. The instructor is moving down the row. You have seconds. What do? Lock in your own space, make it perfect. Fix his mistake before it seems. Snap at him, force him to get it right. Let it happen, watch what breaks. Okay, now my first instinct is let it happen and watch what breaks, but I feel like we're also kind of a compassionate person. We've suffered greatly. Let's fix this mistake before it's seen. Defense 1, compassion 1. You step in fast. Your hands are steady, or his are not. You fold the blanket with clean precision, correcting the angles and smoothing the wrinkles before the instructor can see. The fold snaps into place just before the instructor arrives. He exhales like he's been drowning. You're already back in position. The instructor reaches your row, he stops. His eyes look your way, then move on. Not everyone is as fortunate. The instructor passes like a storm. No one speaks after the horror of the inspection. They just prepare for the rest of the day quietly. Day 3, breaking point. Your wrist still throbs. The instructor's rod left a mark that pulses with every breath. The other recruits see it. You see it. The horn sounds long before dawn. Every recruit in your barracks is already awake. No one slept after the inspection. Packs go onto shoulders so fast the straps bite before you can adjust them. Too heavy for bodies not yet tested. None of the instructors offer mercy. Form ranks, move. The march begins without ceremony. You cross uneven ground, slick with morning frost. Mud clings to your boots. Loose stones twist ankles. The lines stretch ahead over the rolling hills. Compression and stretching with the terrain. With each step, the pack settles heavier. Instructors stand along the column. Anyone who stumbles gets shoved back upright. Anyone who falls risks getting trampled. Some of the recruits ahead are already gasping, their legs going before their will does. Hours pass without marking themselves. Your throat burns, your legs shake, sweat chills your spine. The pack grinds into your shoulders. You don't know where it ends, but you can see the road ahead and the one fact beside it. The army does not slow for the weak. How do you endure? We could pace ourselves and save our strength. We could help struggling recruit share the burden, push to the front, dominate, read the terrain, make a better path. I think we're kind of in on the compassion. We'll help the struggling recruit share the burden. Defense, unity, scouting. You alter under your load and share some of theirs. You stabilize his arm. You coordinate your breaths to his. The line holds because someone chooses not to abandon it. The march continues on, and the instructors wander around the perimeter of the marchers in silence. Every step, every uneven breath, every time someone stumbles is being watched by the instructors to determine who will be able to endure the physical burden and who's already given up under it. Come on, we gotta win something. 11's good, right? Success with a cost. The weight gnaws at your shoulders and your knees threaten to buckle. Every uneven stretch of the ground, but you do not fall. You march the column stride for stride, even as your vision narrows and your breath burns. The instructors pass without comment. You remain in formation. This is enough of a victory for now. By the time you return to the barracks, the sun is already falling. The march has stripped conversation from the group. No one speaks as you step inside. New signs have been nailed onto wooden beams. Official seal. At the bottom of each, a name. Supreme Commander of the Han. Liang Xing. Step closer and read. Hold your ground. Reinforcements are uncertain. Failure here spreads beyond this camp. This is how the Han wages war. These are the standards you will be measured against for the rest of your life. Day 4, First Blood. Your shoulders and knees ache. The pack left furrows in your skin that haven't closed, but you held. You know now you can carry more than you thought. The question of what happens when endurance stops being enough. By midday, the yard runs a harsh, uneven rhythm. Wooden practice weapons creak against each other in sharp bursts across the camp. Recruits form loose circles, pairs colliding in messy exchanges. Splinters fly, bruises bloom. Instructors move amongst the circles, staffs striking the ground to mark every air. Dropped hands, poor footwork, fear dressed as caution. You step into the circle. Your partner mirrors your stance. This is the first time you'll strike another person with intent, even one with blunted wood. No one here is an enemy. Every blow still lands like one. Your sparring partner steps forward. Their hands are shaking, so are yours. The instructor raises his staff. Begin. How do you approach the spar? Stay sharp, take the opening. Cunning, compassion, scouting. Okay, we're getting a pattern here. You study their weight shifts, their grip, the hesitation in their shoulders. You strike not harder, but smarter, catching them where they least expect it. The clash of wood echoes across the yard. Your muscles remember the days of punishment. Your partner's eyes carry the same exhaustion you feel in your arms. Then a horn, the alarm horn. Every recruit stops. Wooden weapons hang mid-swing. The instructors' heads all turn to the entrance. Weapons down, fall in! Chaos erupts in the training ground. Some recruits drop their arms and run for the formation line. Others stand frozen, waiting for orders that aren't coming fast enough. Your instructor doesn't wait. Border raid, he yells. Enemies have breached the perimeter. All capable recruits to the south wall, move. A border raid? During training? It takes a moment, then it lands. This is no drill. Around you, recruits are stumbling over their own feet. Someone vomits from fear. The instructors are already arming themselves with real steel. Your heart pounds. This is what you trained for, except you've only trained 3.5 days. 3 choices flash in your mind. Get steel, go to armory now. Form the other recruits up, stop the panic. Shadow the instructor, he knows what he's doing. I think this is going to be our orphan instincts kicking in. We'll shadow the instructor, he knows what he's doing. Panic kills more soldiers than enemies. You lock eyes on the instructor and match his pace exactly. You just move. The instructor cuts through the chaos. You shadow him. When he pivots left, you pivot left. When he grabs a spear from a fun-running recruit and shoves it in someone else's hand, you do the same with the next weapon you find. He notices. Doesn't break stride. You take these 4. Follow 2 steps behind. If I go down, you get them to leader Hua, understand? 4 terrified recruits are suddenly looking at you, waiting for orders you didn't know were yours. Understood. Accept the responsibility. Stay close. Your voice doesn't shake. Small miracle. The instructor moves through the camp like he's done this before. You follow, pulling your 4 through the chaos. One stumbles. You grab his collar without breaking strides. Eyes front. The south wall rises ahead. You reach the south wall. The scene is smaller than you expected. That makes it worse. Maybe 30 raiders? Light cavalry already pulling back after torturing an outer supply shed. Smoke rises in a black pillar. The veteran garrison is already responding. Shields up, archers knocking. The raiders wheel their horses, testing for weakness, finding none. This isn't an assault, it's a probe, a message. They're measuring you. 100-man Captain Liang surveys the field from atop the wall. His eyes move across the raiders, then across the recruits crushing weapons they barely know how to hold. He makes a decision. Recruits, hold this wall, he says. Veterans with me. We're running them down before they report back. He's leaving you here. 30 recruits, maybe 10 who've held a weapon for more than 4 days. Against the possibility of the raids aren't retreating, this is the bait. That more are coming. Veterans pour off the walls, mount horses, form pursuit. The thunder of hoods fade, the camp goes quiet. You're holding the wall for now. One recruit whispers, Did they really just leave us here? What if more come? The sun beats down. Smoke still rising, the wall is yours. No one's coming if it goes wrong. We hold, that's an order. We watch for each other, no one dies alone. Stay sharp, this might not be over. I feel like, okay, so we're insightful and we're willing to watch, but we're also compassionate. But I also feel like we really want to excel. So we hold, that's an order. We hold, that's the order. The recruit beside you swallows, nods, tightens the grip on his spear. The line holds. 2 hours. 2 hours of staring at an empty field, hands sweating on the spear you prayed you wouldn't have to use. 2 hours of every shadow looking like a rider. 2 hours of recruits asking if the veterans are coming back. They do come back, all of them, with blood, but alive. The raiders are gone, scattered or dead. Captain Young rides past the wall, sees 30 recruits still standing where he left them. He nods once. You feel it anyways. That night, no one talks about the spar. They talk about the wall, about the alarm, about the way their hands shook when they thought they might actually have to kill someone. After dinner, Captain Young finds you and puts a whetstone in your hand. You need to sharpen your practice blade. Then quietly, you did not crack under pressure today like most do on the day the horns blow. He walks away before you can respond. The whetstone sits heavily in your palm. Your ribs still ache. The raid made it feel smaller. Tomorrow, training continues. Day 5. Reading ground. Yesterday's spar took something. Your body will recover. Your confidence is shakier. You think you see what you did wrong. You won't know until you test it. The instructors lead the recruits away from the main yard through tent rows and early fires onto ground worn flat by years of marching feet. Trees at irregular intervals, grass bending in the wind, dirt paths that drop without warning into low ground and rise again. This drill runs across uneven ground where soldiers trip, lose each other, or get cut down when they fail to read what's beneath them. The recruits fan out into a wide semicircle. Wet dirt, crushed pine. Somewhere ahead, crows erupt from cover and don't come back. Instructors bark orders. Move, observe. Nothing here is what it seems. The drill begins. A recruit stumbles into a hole the grass had covered. Another slips on gravel. 2 more weave between trees and drop below a hidden ridge. Your lane stretches ahead. Shadows and sunlight trading places across the ground. How do you navigate the terrain? We could read the ground and anticipate. We could move fast. We could guide others. I think we're going to guide others, call out hazards. Compassion formation defensive. You call out dangers as you see them, steadying one recruit as they nearly twist an ankle. The line holds because someone chooses to pay attention for everyone. The instructors watch from higher ground, arms folded, their gaze sweeping across the shifting field. Every stumble is marked. Every clean adjustment is noted. The land shows you how careless you are, much quicker than the enemy. Can I please get a second? No! We're so bad. Critical failure. The ground deceives you completely. What looked like solid ground turns out to be a hole. You go down into it. Your weapon comes out of your grip, dirt in your mouth. The instructor yells through the trees. In battle, this is where you die. You get to your feet, dirt still in your mouth. Everyone saw. Day 6, the eye. Dirt is still in your mouth, and it feels like it. You spent the night going over every misstep. The grass patterns you didn't read, the soil that gave out on you. The others slept, you didn't. You know the ground now. Whether your body can use that knowledge is another question. The air in the training yard has an edge to it this morning. Recruits gather in wide circles while instructors drag crates, wooden barricades, and painted banners into position. The ground becomes a crude battlefield. Choke points cover narrow lanes where a man can panic. No one speaks. The captain steps forward, worn armor. He looks at recruits without hurry. This is a battlefield, treat it as such. He signals. The drill begins. Instructors strike shields to mimic enemy charges. Painted arrows whistle in from hidden positions. Recruits scatter, collide, shout warnings, or freeze. The officers watch from the edge, arms folded. No one issues orders. The test is who you are when orders vanish and instinct is all that's left. Ahead of you, a recruit trips near a barricade. To your left, another runs without knowing where to. Behind you, painted arrows hit the dirt. A gap opens in the line. What rises in you at that moment? Take the gap, form a hold, Charge, disrupt them before they press, or slip through, assist first. Let's take the gap and form a hold. Defensive unity formation. You move to the gap and plant yourself in it. A couple of other recruits gather behind you once they see you're holding there. The captain hand raises and the battlefield illusion dissolves into silence. The dust has not yet settled when the officers begin their inspection, walking between recruits as if counting survivors after a real clash. Their attention stops on you. Come on, we gotta get something. Success with a cost. I like that there's different levels of success and failure. You move decisively and hold your position through a surge, but the effort strips you raw. Your arms tremble from strain, your breath tears at your chest as the halt is called. The line held, but it cost you. Night in the camp. Low noise of people settling in. Boots stacked near tents, armor straps loosened, someone hums a tune you don't know, then stops halfway through. Nearby, 2 recruits sit on an overturned crate, rubbing salve into bruised shoulders. I heard the real unit drills don't start for another month, one of them says. Another snort's good, gives me time to stop shaking every time someone yells. A pause. Think they'll move us to the eastern yard after this? Probably. That's where they keep the ones who don't wash out. The conversation drifts, sleep. How long before bodies stop hurting all the time? The fires burn low. The camp settles into a quiet that could become routine given enough weeks. For the first time since arriving, that doesn't feel impossible. Day 7, necessity. Your arms are still shaking from yesterday. Every breath catches. But you kept your head when the drill went sideways and did what needed doing. You took hits for it. That's fair. You're standing. The shouting begins before the sun rises. Something in the sound is wrong. Too sharp, too real. Recruits spill from their tents. Some run, some freeze. Officers push past half-secured armor carrying scrolls, banners, weapons meant for real war. Something happened. A formation captain climbs onto a supply cape, dented armor, mud on it. He unrolls a parchment, the yard goes quiet. He reads the first name. A recruit steps forward, stiff with fear. He reads another, then another. He doesn't stop. Recruits look at each other. Someone near you mutters, "Are they calling us?" Another whispers, 7 days. We must have failed. The names continue, too many, then your name. Your stomach drops. You step forward into the quiet. A few recruits look away, afraid of being called next. The captain's expression gives you nothing. When the last name is spoken, he lowers the scroll. The border brigade has been shattered. A ripple moves through the yard. The enemy crossed the border 2 nights ago. They struck fast, aiming for the grain basin behind the waterway. Our brigade broke. Many officers fell. Too many. He scans your faces. The Supreme Commander, Lian Xing, has ordered General Kai Fing to hold the Yi River. A new force must form immediately from the troops around the region. We do not have time for more training. He steps down, boots hitting the crate. Not all you performed well this week. Some of you were corrected again and again, and still came back to the yard. War has use for that. Captain Liang approaches, close enough for you to feel his breath. These past days were brutal, and you did not come through them clean, he says quietly. Your training was poor, but you kept coming back to the yard. We'll see whether that survives first contact. His voice sharpens. By necessity of war, you are promoted to 5-man leader. Wow, we've successfully failed our way through training. Great. Your past decisions have taken shape. You've gained a trait. Is that this one? No. This one. Yes. Promoted to 5-man leader. So what did we end up with? 5 defensive, 5 cunning, 4 unity, 6 compassion, 3 formation, 4 scouting. Okay. Earn the trait Quiet Wall. Okay, Quiet Wall. You protect without demanding recognition. Your defense works even when no one notices. Your men are waiting. Your unit has grown. Press the wooden soldiers to open the unit scroll and review how to manage those under your command. Not every soldier is meant to become an officer. Most will die unnamed. A few will shape your legacy. Click or hover over the cards to learn more about promising soldiers under your command. When the time is right, you'll assess their future roles in the unit. Okay. All characters have rarity tiers. Black frame represents common, blues are rare, purple are elite, and gold are legendary. Your soldiers are assigned to your unit from the army's available pool. More soldiers will join your unit as you rise through the ranks. Okay, so we have a purple and a black. So you would be the better of the two in theory. Liu Yang. Liu Yang learned to shoot by hunting birds in the marshland where targets moved fast and opportunities lasted seconds. She joined the army because archery was the only path that did not require her to marry someone her family chose. During training... Oh, there's a whole bunch. During training, instructors watched her put arrows through gaps others couldn't see, holding draws longer than recruits twice her size, and they stopped questioning whether a woman belonged in the combat unit. She has not killed a man yet, but her hands do not shake, and everyone who watches her shoot knows it's only a matter of time. Precision shot. Finds narrow windows and angles others miss, landing decisive shots under pressure. Maintains superior battlefield intelligence before and during engagements. Lethal composure. Stays calm in kill moments, executing cleanly when hesitation would be fatal. Do I do anything to you? Or we're just learning about our 2 of our 5 people, I guess. Zhao Qiang. Zhao Qiang is the son of a blacksmith who watched his father's forge collapse during a siege when supply chains broke and iron stopped arriving. His father starved repairing weapons for soldiers who had food while smiths had none. Now Zhao Qiang is obsessed over logistics with grim intensity, checking inventories compulsively, hoarding rations when supply is stable, and flying into a cold rage when anyone wastes resources. He sees every campaign through the lens of what breaks first, not who fights better, and his paranoia about supply failure makes him impossible to reassure, but invaluable when logistics actually matter. Other officers find him exhausting, but they eat when others starve. Logistics mastery. Prioritize rations, march pacing, and supply discipline. Arrives prepared when others arrive exhausted. Tracks resources and wastes obsessively, preventing small losses from becoming campaign critical failures. Pragmatism. Prioritize workable outcomes over ideal plans, choosing what can be executed cleanly under pressure. Okay, that's a good team. The camp transforms in minutes. Drums beat evacuation orders, armor thrown from crates. A junior logistics officer pushes through the chaos and shoves a bundle into your arms. Your first file. 4 names, 4 faces you recognize from the yard. One with sharp eyes, the instructor watched too closely. One steady, quiet, always there when needed to be. 2 others stiff with fear, pretending it isn't there. They're yours now, the officer says. Keep them alive long enough and they might earn names worth remembering. He turns away mid-sentence, already shouting at someone else. You face 4 recruits, they stand unevenly. 1 too far forward, 1 hanging back. 1 doesn't meet your eyes. Liu Yan studies you instead of the marching columns. They made you 5-man leader, he says? Why? That question doesn't accuse, it measures. Zhao Tian says nothing. He is watching your answer more than the others. Because I gave it my all, does it matter we survive together or we don't? You think I asked for this? Always truthful to our men. Because I gave it my all. Defensive and discipline. You hold Lao Yan's gaze without blinking. I don't know why, you said, but I will keep us breathing. The fast talker looks away first. The quiet one nods once. No one smiles. Your file falls into step behind you. The column is already forming beyond the tents. Lines of soldiers tightening into something that resembles an army rather than a camp. You manage with marching ranks. Mounted messengers tear out ahead, banners snapping in the wind. General Kai Fing gathers forces near Yi River. The enemy moves faster than expected. A shattered brigade retreats towards the crossing, leaving gaps that must be filled. You're sent to stand where others failed to hold. The continent enters an uneasy season. The banners of the 7 states rise and fall in quiet tension, each kingdom watching the next with narrowed eyes. Qing has gone quiet. Their armies have withdrawn from border skirmishes. Their forges burn hotter than before. Some believe they're gathering strength for a sudden campaign against the Zhao. Others whisper at a deeper target, hidden behind disciplined stillness. Okay, so maybe a war up here. To the south, Chu struggles with internal fracture. A new supreme commander has taken helm, reshaping their high command. Old alliances tremble beneath the appointment. Vassal lords question where Chu's loyalties now lie. Neighboring states prepare for whatever comes next. In the west, Wei Han trade blows across disputed farmland. Neither gains ground, both drain their treasuries and empty their armories in a fight that costs them more than it costs their rivals. Along the northern coast, Yan gathers forces in secret. Spies report unfamiliar banners rising in their camp. No one knows their aim. Will Yan turn on Qi or strike at Zhao while Qin awaits? Some believe Yan watches with tension, waiting for the first misstep before choosing whom to back and whom to bleed. All across the land, border forts brace for what's coming. Every commander reads the wind with suspicion. The balance of the 7 states rests on rumors carried by messengers, who arrive late, and spies who vanish before their reports are confirmed. This is the continent you march upon, a land where decisions make distant courts shall swallow entire armies. The first stand, the march to the river. The march to the Yi River is nothing like the drills, heavier, darker. Cold winds cut through the ranks and fill every gap. Your recruits walk behind you, whispering questions. Ahead, veterans stare forward with sunken eyes. Then you see him. General Kai Feng, the man ordered to hold the river with an army assembled in 4 days. He rides slowly amongst the columns, studying faces drawn from every corner of the kingdom. Villages, border forts, unfinished training camps, faces too young and too raw to stand for a stand like this. Faces that tremble when they think no one is watching. His jaw tightens. 30,000 soldiers. A few hardened ones. Too few hardened ones. Too many recruits. Against a host led by General Jin Heroan, known for striking hard and fast until armies break under the weight of his advance. General Kai Feng halts near the riverbank, watching engineers dig trenches and plant stakes in soil still soft from yesterday's rain. The line looks fragile, a thin shell against the hammer already in motion. Officers exchange glances that carry what can't be said aloud. He is undermanned, he is unready, he has no choice but to stand. But the whispers within the command camp carry the truth. General Kai Feng was not sent here because he lacked skill. He was sent here because he has too much. Court rivals have long feared his rise. Every campaign he won pushed him closer to the title of Great General. A title they blocked with quiet hands and polished smiles. They have placed him on the front meant to crush him. If he fails, they will call it fate. If he succeeds, the court will have to bow to the miracle they tried to prevent. This river will decide more than a battle. Civilians flee past your column, carrying whatever they can salvage. Smoke rises from villages already lost. Scouts ride past with frantic reports. The enemy burns everything behind them. They advance without hesitation. They've reached the basin outskirts. Messengers rush into the command tents as the sun lowers. General Kai Feng dismounts and enters, surrounded by officers. A horn cuts through the air. Senior and junior officers prepare for war council. Whatever happens next will not be a drill. The first stand, War Council. The command tent is cramped with tension. High-ranking officers, some still torn armor pulled from the retreating brigade, 5-man and 10-man leaders circle the edges, straining to catch fragments of what's being said. The air smells cold earth, ink, and fear. General Kai Feng stands over a rough map. The Yi River sweeps across the center in a wide arc. Deeper than Han's territory than anyone expected a stand to be made. He begins without ceremony. Wei forces under General Jin Haran, 40,000. He pauses, jaw tight. Their commander attacks with speed and pressure. He will test us hard. Another break. We will not break. No, another pause. We will not break. He marched 3 points along the river with deliberate strokes. 5,000-man commander Jiang Shan holds the center. 5,000-man commander Shin Kuai holds the left. 5,000-man commander Qin Yu hold the right. Then, I retain 10,000 reserve to reinforce collapsing sectors as needed. A murmur moves through the tent. Someone whispers too loudly. That makes 25,000. Where are the other 5? Eyes shift. The math doesn't add up and the soldiers know it. The general gives no sign of hearing it. Then, a staff officer asks a question no one else will. General, what of the 5,000-man commander, Lu Xing, and his men? The general's gaze drops for the first time. They have another assignment. The quiet holds for a moment. Another assignment now? When they're already undermanned and the enemy comes at 40,000, the murmur turns darker. Does he want us to fail? We need all 30,000 here. Why send 5,000 away? The captain tries to quiet the tent. The doubt stands. General Kai Fing looks across the room. What happens at this river will decide whether the basin falls. Hold your sectors. Every moment we endure shapes what comes after. He meets the eyes of the officers, ranked across experience and exhaustion. This army was assembled in 4 days. You will not win on strength. You'll win by refusing to yield. Hey, that's my specialty. Now step backwards. Fear and reluctant resolve mix together. He steps back from the map. My general staff will deliver your assignments. Prepare your units. The enemy does not stop. The staff officer unrolls a new scroll calling out instructors. 3 choices as the tent empties. We could get our orders immediately. We could talk to the file first. We could find a captain and ask for guidance. We're not impatient. Talking to our people, that'd probably be like unity and compassion. Find a captain. Yeah, you know, we've learned by watching others. Find a captain and ask for some guidance. You spot the captain from training speaking with a group of officers. You approach quickly. He turns to you, eyes sharp, recognizing you immediately. Lost? Good. Every sane man should be. Get your orders and remember, fear is fine. Letting the fear lead is not. You follow his advice and retrieve your assignment from the staff table. Southern Bend sector under Commander Chen Yu. Move fast. The captain's words echo as you leave the tent. Day 1, first light. The southern bend of the Yi River looks worse up close. Rain-swollen mud clings to your boots. The ground shifts under your weight, soft enough to betray footing the moment pressure hits. This is where you'll stand. The field captain paces the bank, shouting over the distant way drums. Clear your ground, stabilize the bend. If the sector folds, the right flank goes with it. Your recruits exchange glances. Their air tastes of cold earth. How do you prepare our sector? We could stabilize the ground and dig in. We could drill the formation, tighten spacing, scout the terrain, mark hazards. We were really bad at that when we did it in training. Let's just make our preparations. We'll stabilize the ground and dig in. Aggressive +1, discipline and formation. You dig channels, drive stakes deep, carve out firmer footing. It's slow, brutal work, forcing the ground to obey the sheer effort and will. The work is finished, sweat cuts through the cold. Your hands are raw, you're breathing heavy. Around you, other units finish their preparations. Some dig frantically, others stand ridges, repeating drills until muscles remember what fear forgets. The field captain surveys the bend with narrowed eyes, says nothing, nods once. The sun climbs, the distant drums grow louder. Way is coming. The testing. 10,000 men line the riverbank. Across the water, Wei banner ripples. Your hand tightens on your weapon. General Jin Horan, known for breaking defenses through relentless pressure, stands small detachments towards every sector. Measured thrusts meant to read the ground, the footing, the nerves of the defense assembled in 4 days. Boy, that music caught me off guard. Signal flags raise along the riverbank. Officers pass hurried orders to tighten the lines, correct spacing, mark unstable soil. The enemy is ready to test you too. The first warning comes from the left sector. Shadows shift across the bank as probing unit advances. Shields raised, steps steady. Their posture carries its own message. Not here to kill you yet. Arrows hiss, thin, spaced, meant to study reactions. The field's captain, hold position, don't overreach. Your men stiffen. The lead skirmisher hesitates, boots catching on uneven ground you carved out earlier. The approach slows by a heartbeat. How do we respond? Okay, not that. Can I? That music's a little too bopping for me. We don't need to turn it off, but maybe a little less. There we go. Okay, so how do we respond? Hold positions, don't overreach. Anchor, let them come. Shift to stable ground. Advance 3-step. Meet them on our terms. Okay, we'll anchor. We'll let them come. You anchor your line, shields tight, waiting for them to come. Your men move with you, following your lead. Across the water, the probe closes, measured and patient, as if it already knows where to strike. The first clash comes fast. Your decision becomes a verdict. All right, Babel. Are we gonna make it through our first fight? We've done everything we can. 2 preparation, 1 trait, 0 injury, 13. That's the highest we've ever rolled, I think. Soldiers are injured. Success with cost. The probe hits as a tight wedge of 6. You meet them. Lao Yan counters the lead thrust with a clean redirection, turning 2 blows aside. Your line holds, but a recruit cries out as a javelin grazes his shoulder. You drop one in the mud and send another limping. The rest withdraw in studied retreat. The hammer. Across the river, wave formations begin to shift. General Jin Hao has read the morning probes. Reports flow through his ranks. Instability in the center, hesitation on the left, the greatest fracture on the right. He wastes no time. A broad banner rises on the left wing. 5,000 troops detach and wheel towards your enemy's right. Dust climbs behind them. General Kaifeng sends a warning signal from the ridge. Scouts race across the line. 2,000 reserves under Dai Ming scramble to reinforce the right flank. Footing uneven, formations not yet settled. The enemy arrives faster. A roar from the sector north of you. 5,000 Wei infantry crash into the line. Shields don't just buckle, they shatter. Men thrown backwards, bones snapping under the pressure of bodies compressing. The formation bends further, splits. Blood's in the air. Right flank is folding. Wounded soldiers pour towards your position. Some without weapons, some dragging men who aren't gonna make it. The mud churns. Officers shout over each other, voices cracking. Orders contradict. The line isn't retreating in one direction, it's coming apart in several. The enemy's spearhead drives straight through the gap, aimed at your throat. This is where you die, unless... Your recruits grip their weapons, breasts sharp and uneven. Lao Yan holds steady, eyes on the collapsing flank. Lao Yan mutters, "We hold here or the river folds." The spillover slams towards your bend. How do you respond? Okay, so we know that she was supposed to be super steady, eyes on the battlefield, and lethal composure. Okay, we hold here or the river falls. So charge, I don't think so. Push forward, no, I don't think so. We have a trait that gives us defensive, so if we pull that, I see my... that is not what I want. Okay, that's a help menu. I want this. Yeah, quiet wall. You protect without demanding recognition. Your defensive works even when no one notices. We have good formation. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna try to hold. Pull the broken ranks behind you. Form a wall. Defense composure formation. You anchor yourself and pull the retreating soldiers behind your line. Your 5 form a wall. With your order, your file moves at once, because hesitation here is death. The spillover surges closer, drowning the bank in screaming mud and steel. Come on, come on, come on. 2 preparation, 1 trait, 1 injury. We get an 11. Success, but a cost. You slam your formation into place before the spillover breaks through. The fighting is close and messy. One of your men takes a javelin graze on the shoulder. It buys enough time for 2,000 reserves to reach the right flank. Their arrival stops the immediate collapse. Officers shout new orders. Units rotate forward. The flank steadies. Barely. The enemy presses. Another hit is coming. We have 2 injuries now. The monster. The shadow grows longer. The blood doesn't stop. Across the basin, General Jin Haoran's command banners shift. He's committing everything. Another 5,000 pour towards the right flank. Fresh troops, full sprint. The pressure doubles. 5,000 more sweep towards the left and center, just enough to pin him. He wants a breakthrough before sun drops. General Kaifeng rides down from the ridge at full gallop. He shouts orders from the front, rides between collapsing units, shoves officers back in position. The men see him still up and hold a few minutes longer. It isn't enough. Your sector has been fighting for hours. Every movement costs something. Armor weighs like stone. Sweat stings your eyes. Your weapon arm shakes with fatigue that goes past muscle. The sun is still up. The enemy arrives before it drops. A shout across the battlefield. Commander down! Commander's down! Your turn. 1,000 man commander Dai Ming is on the ground. The men around him pull back. Standing over him is a monster. 3,000 man commander of Wei, Gao Fing. His blade is wider than any you've seen in the field, dripping. He looks at the body the way a man looks at something he's already forgotten. He cuts through the retreating soldiers without slowing. Every swing finds something. Your sector's next. You turn to Lu Yan. Hold this line, you say. He freezes, not from fear, from understanding. Babel Builder, you can't. Hold the line. He swallows, nods. Are we doing a Mulan thing here? Because that's a she. Gao Fing lifts his blade, scanning for the next obstacle. His gaze finds you. The soldiers between you scatter. He cuts 2 of them down in passing without breaking stride. You don't think. Your body moves on its own. Muscle memory from the drills you hated during training that felt like a year. Your unit shouts your name. The sound fades. There are only 2 points. You and him. He bares his teeth in something like a smile, lifts his blade and charges forward at terrifying speed. The duel begins. Gao Fing closes the distance faster than a man with that much armor should be able to do. His blade is already moving. The blood on it isn't yours yet. He wants to test you first. Up close, he's worse. The stench of blood and sweat, blade notched in a dozen places. His eyes carry the ease of a man who's killed many officers and remembers none of them. Your men shout behind you. Their voices don't reach you anymore. How do you meet his opening approach? Keep distance and study him. Step in sharply and interrupt his rhythm. Brace, wait for counter. So studying kind of is like the orphan thing we're good at. But I also like the brace and wait for a counter. That kind of plays into our silent defensive thing. We brace, we wait for counter. You plant your feet and raise your guard, refusing to be baited into motion. His size and strength means nothing if his momentum belongs to you. You will not chase him. You will let him collide with certainty and answer when he does. The distance closes with inevitability of impact. Whatever you choose, you are already inside of it. The next moment decides everything. Come on, come on. No. Oh my gosh, this is total Babel's luck here. You are wounded. The enemy gains momentum. Critical failure. His blade hits your guard and lifts you off your feet. You go backwards, boots skidding through the mud. The pain across your ribs, blood seeping beneath your armor, vision swimming. Through the haze, you see him laughing, head thrown back, shoulders shaking. To him, this is routine. Something in his stance changes, lower, heavier. The playfulness drains from his eyes. His shoulders drop, his weapon raises. Your lungs burn, sweat in your eyes. Your weapon arm shakes with an exhaustion that's past muscle. His blade lifts, he's done playing with you. How do you answer this escalation? All right, we may very well fall here if we don't make a good roll. Target his weapon arm, drive forward, deny him space, defend. I'm all in on the defensive thing. Defend tight, conserve your strength. You tighten your guard and lower your center of gravity. You force your breath back into rhythm. The tremor in your arms, you absorb it. He's stronger than you. He is not faster than his own weight. You're waiting for him to overreach. He moves first. The world contracts and the sound of steel tearing the air. Come on, we gotta have one. Okay, a 13. Enemy is wounded, you gain momentum. Success with a cost. Your blade finds the seam between his forearm and gauntlet. Blood seeps beneath the armor. His next swing slows enough that you catch it and redirect. He steps back, looks at his arm. The duel has collapsed into a single point. The battlefield, the screaming, the dying, all of it's distant now. There is only you and him. His breath comes in ragged gasps. Blood streams down his flank where you wounded him, but his eyes still carry that hunger. Your muscles are done. Your weapon feels twice its weight. Sweat and blood make your grip uncertain. The battle around you has gone quiet in a way that has nothing to do with sound. The sun is low. The mud is gone the color of the sky. One of you walks away. The other feeds the mud. He charges. How do we meet him? So we could commit everything and end it. We could sidestep and strike the gap. We could hold and let him break himself. We are fully committed. We're building a wall here, builders. A great wall in China. Your foot, you root your foot in the mud and tighten your guard. If he wants you dead, he'll have to carve through iron first. If he overcommits, even for a breath, you will be there to take it from him. You tighten your guard to its smallest form and lock your stance. His shadow swallows you. There's no retreat from this distance. I can't even click it. Okay. That's survivable, right? You are wounded. Steel meets steel. One hard impact. His blade grazes your shoulder. You counter, draws blood from his ribs. Both of you staggered back, both breathing hard. The horn sounds, nightfall. He grins, blood streaming down his flank. Tomorrow we finish this. He backs away. You feel him watching you the whole way. Your men finally reach you. They don't speak, breathless and blood-streaked. They stare at you like you should be dead, and you aren't sure that you're not. One of them reaches out a shaking hand to touch your arm. You're solid. You're here. Before anyone finds words, the evening horn rolls across the riverfront, deep, mournful. Both armies begin to withdraw. Movement slows to stumbling, weapons drag through the mud, soldiers limp or are carried. The battlefield doesn't empty. It just stops fighting. Groans, distant sobbing. The wet sound of medics working on men who are already gone. The day ends with the taste of blood in your mouth. Day 1, the reckoning. The darkness doesn't bring peace. It just hides what morning will force you to look again. Torches flicker through the wind. The cries of the wounded carry across the camp. Bodies lie beneath weighted cloth. Armor stacked beside blood-darkened bandages. The first task is treatment. A medic binds your wounds with practiced, wary hands. The sting is sharp. Your unit gathers close, shaking, but relieved you're still upright. Nearby, more medics tend to your wounded men. One groans as a splint is tightened. Another stares at the sky with his arm being stitched. Across the ridge, officers gather in the command tent. The air is thick. Inside is thick with smoke, sweat, and dread. General Kaifeng stands over the map, mud on his armor. His face is drawn. Reports come one after another. Right flank, 612 dead, 2,340 wounded. Center, heavy pressure, 210 dead, wounded are still being counted. Left holding, 700 wounded, 143 dead, spirit shaken. The total effective strength lost today is approximately 3,000. 3,000 men, Commander Dai Ming confirmed killed. No one speaks for a moment. An officer steps forward. The enemy smelled weakness on the right. They'll strike there with everything tomorrow. General Kaifeng nods once and points to the position on the map. Then the right must not break. 3,000 man Commander Feng Zhai, take 2,000 from reserves. Reinforce the right bend at dawn. His finger stays on the map. They will throw everything at that bend. If it breaks, the basin opens. We deny them. Feng Zhi studies the map, then bows once. Understood. Kaifeng's voice drops. If the right collapses tomorrow, the basin falls. This cannot happen. The council disperses. Back at your fire, your unit drinks water, worn and quiet. A shadow crosses the torchlight. Jin Wei approaches. He nods once. You're still standing. That's more than many today. A cold wind moves through the camp. Across the river, enemy torches burn in the dark. Somewhere in the enemy camp, Gao Feng sharpens a blade by torchlight. He bleeds tonight. Whether from wound or his fury, no one on this bank can tell. Your men settle into restless sleep. Tomorrow the enemy commander returns. Tomorrow the right flank gets tested. And tomorrow one of you will die. Day 2, Dawn's Reprieve. All right, and we're going to make a pause there, I suppose. This was a little bit longer of a demo than I was kind of expecting. Very interesting. I hope people are enjoying that. Like I said, it really does have some King of Dragon Pass feel to me, but I've actually quite enjoyed that. Tune in next time to find out if Babel Builder can actually win a role. So far, I don't think we've actually had a full success this entire game. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to leave a like on it. That helps me a ton. If you're not subscribed, I hope I've earned your subscription. If you want to support the channel, you can always join me live for a super chat. Leave a super thanks on a video or VOD. Consider becoming a member or checking out the Patreon linked in the channel info. All right, guys, sharpen your blades. I'll see you at dawn. Babel out.